Hey everybody, Lady Cheryl here. Welcome to my channel. I live in Zone 8A, Mesquite, Texas. I hope if you're new to my channel that you will find something that you can use and that you will subscribe so that you can see how this 70-year-old gardener who will soon be 71 works smart and not hard. Okay? In this video, I'm going to share with you how and why I cloned some tomatoes. I'm going to share with you how I plant asparagus crowns. And I'm also going to share with you, what else am I going to share? Oh, I know. The conclusion of rooting my sweet potato slips outside from store-bought sweet potatoes, okay? Now, I'm not gonna do a lot of editing. I don't have all the razzle-dazzle to my videos. I don't know how to do all that stuff. I'm just gonna speak to you from my heart. This is how my garden looked after a terrible storm. And I'm just gonna pan around and share with you that certain areas didn't get a lot of damage. We had very high winds. I'm zooming in over there on that beautiful yellow rose because I'm really excited and happy about how big the bloom is. But what I want to share with you is this. We've had a lot of wind damage and hail damage. Our decorations fell down. The hanging baskets fell down and broke a lot of tomato branches. And things happen, guys. You should never give up. When you have a setback, you just keep moving forward. Now, let me share with you what I had to do. You see those hanging baskets right there? Well, I had them all over my fence, and several of them fell down when we had the last storm. And I guess because the baskets were too heavy and they broke some of my tomato plants. You can see I had to excessively prune them. So this is what I did. I took one of the thick branches, took off some of the bottom leaves, and I put it in this water container. And as you can see, it got a lot of roots. So today I'm going to bury this plant all the way up to here, and I'll remove all the blooms. Now, I removed some of the blooms, you can see right here, but some of them came on after I was rooting this for about 5 days in water. So I'm gonna put it in a 5-gallon bucket. I'll be right back. I'm going to pinch off this right here, and I'm gonna bury this all the way down in this bucket up to here. And remember, tomato plants have these little fibrous roots. See those little bitty fuzzy things? Those are roots, and it has the ability to root all along the stem. So I'm gonna put it down in this 5-gallon bucket as far down as I can go. I have it all planted up in this 5-gallon bucket, and now I'm just gonna pinch off the blooms. See right there and here. And I've got an onion there. And I'm gonna put a marigold in here too. I decided to prune a couple more large branches and root them as well and put them in 5-gallon containers. And you can see where I cut off the side branches or shoots all along here, here, and up here. And I made sure I removed all of the flowers. And now I'm going to do the same thing and root these in water in my watering container. And I'm also going to show you what I did with the marigolds that I put into the other pot. Let's go over there. Another stem right here, so that I can just train this to have just one main stem. And then I put these 4 marigolds that I pricked out of some containers that I didn't need them in. And then I will put some of these with the other containers that I'm going to put the tomato plants that I'm rooting. And I think I'm going to get one more branch and have 4 total. And the reason why I'm doing this, guys, is because I'm going on vacation in May, and I want to have some tomatoes in the shade where I know that they will be protected while I'm out of town. So here's the third one. I removed a long branch, and I'm going to remove these flowers right here. Right here, if you have a branch that's coming in between 2 side branches, that is called a sucker. And I'm going to go ahead and remove that one. And I'm going to take these flowers off of here, just like I did the rest of them. We'll root this. And this is one that's going to be planted really deep into my potty mix in a 5-gallon container that I'll add worm castings and compost to. Got a big branch this time. When I had my food forest, I would plant anywhere between 50 and 75 tomato plants. And I would always remove the suckers, because they say that you'll get bigger tomatoes and it won't be so heavy on your plant. But after I moved over here with my daughter and my son-in-law, I decided to stop removing the suckers because I'm not planting or growing that many tomatoes. It is April 29th and I'm checking on my sweet potatoes, and I'm so glad to see some coming up from over here, because in the last video, this one hadn't sprouted yet. So that's a good thing. Now over here, first I'm going to check, see if I got any roots, and we do have roots, people. We got roots growing on the little slips, and I'm very happy to see this long one here. I'm going to cut it off and root it as well. Yeah, it's going well. I'm going to plant the last of the sweet potato slips. See them here? You can see that they got a nice amount of roots on them, so I'm going to plant them on. I'm also going to cut these off and just put them in the soil. You can root them in soil or water. If you look real close right here, you can see a root right there. Can you see that? So I don't have to cut this one off at all. I'm just going to mound some soil around it, and it will take off. Okay? Let me see if I can see any roots from this one. No, so I'm gonna cut it off and just stick it in the soil. And you can see this one right here is already rooting. So that's why I'm confident that I know I don't have to soak these in water until they root. Okay? And here's another one, guys, that was right here. It has a lot of roots on it. So I'm just going to pop it in right here where I had the cup with the, rooting the slips in. So this is what this planter looks like. I'm going to remove the sweet potatoes out of there after they root a little bit more, but I just wanted to finish up this project. This is the first container that I put some of the slips in, and now I'm going to show you the last. Here is the third container. I want you all to please keep in mind that there were only 3 small sweet potatoes that I grew all of these slips from. I'm gonna see if I can find a picture and I'll pop it in right here. So we have 3 25-gallon containers with sweet potatoes growing in them, all from 3 small store-bought sweet potatoes. While I'm over here, let me show you my Tom Thumb cherry tomatoes that I grew hydroponically and put them outside. They're doing great. I'm gonna gather these today before I go in the house because I don't want the birds to get them. Day before yesterday, before all the rain came, I amended the soil with homemade compost, and I'm reusing the potty mix that was already in the container. I had some zinnias growing in there, and I put them in other places in the garden. Let me lower this so see if you can get a better view. That rosemary is blocking it. And go down a little further. See this big container? I'm gonna lift the tripod up and just take you right in here. This is a big container, and I've got to space them out. What I'm going to attempt to do is put them, where's my little shovel? I'm going to put them in all around the border and maybe save a couple of them for the middle. I don't have my tool, so I'm just going to use what I got. I hope you can see that. this is what I like to see when I'm messing around in the soil. Can you see that? Earthworm. Likes to play dead when you first pick it up, but there it is. So we put that earthworm back over there, and we're just gonna dig a little soil out. I'm gonna spread the crown out. Make sure that you don't cover up right here where it's sprouting, okay? All right. This is a garter snake. They won't hurt you. They eat insects, and they don't eat the roots of your plants. So I'm just gonna put this right back in here where I found it so that it can keep watch out over my asparagus roots. This is a garter snake. Some people call them a garden snake. So it's moving around. It'll find a little home. Can you see? Making it a little larger, but it's gonna go down in the soil and start hiding. So I have them all planted in, and like I told you before, in a few days, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna bring the soil up to here, and as they start growing higher and higher up, I'm going to keep adding more soil until I get to about right here. And then I will mulch them to keep the weeds out. And you can see my little friend is still right here. But one thing I can say about my little friend, I saw a couple pill bugs, but I didn't see any ants or anything like that. It will eat them. Let me say one more thing about these crowns. The merchant actually gave me 12 instead of 10. And they have, you see that little square on the bottom of the label? If you put your phone on it, you can read the website. Will come up and click on it, and it'll give you all planting directions, and you can compare them to what I just shared with you. If you have a lot of land or a lot of room, you can grow them the way they suggest. I'll go in closer. An infestation of grasshoppers. Trying to focus. Got this neem oil spray that I'm going to spray on them. Look at them, hopping everywhere. Never seen this many grasshoppers. Baby grasshoppers, and they hop when they little. See them? I may not be able to put this in a video, because I don't know if I captured them or not. But right over there, I'm gonna hit that. Wow, never seen that many grasshoppers. Baby grasshoppers at one time. Oh well, I see one right here. I was looking for the diatomaceous earth, but I couldn't find it. See it keep hopping? See him? Hey, I've never seen anything like this. I mean, literally, it was like 50 of them when I first started walking the garden. They're all down here, jumping. It's been 2 days since I sprayed this area when I had the invasion of the grasshoppers. And you can see that there is no damage to the plant. Just make sure that you dilute that pure cold-pressed neem oil very well. I only put about 1/2 ounce in a spray bottle, and the rest is water and just a few drops of dish soap. And there's no damage whatsoever. And I was spraying a whole lot, okay? And make sure you don't do it when it's real hot outside. Once it gets about 85 degrees, 80, 85-ish, I wouldn't spray it unless it's real early in the morning or later. I hope I shared something with you that you can use in your gardening. If I did, hit the like button, subscribe, and make sure you ring that bell so that you will be notified when my videos first come out. You know that I love you, everybody, and God loves you too. Bye now. Thanks for watching.